Welcome to Thursday, September 8th, 2022, your day with the podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com on their Facebook page and sign up for their daily email newsletter. Well, folks, we're about ready to finally do this. That's right. So long, farewell to this big hot dome of high pressure. We're going to see it get squashed and basically rid ourselves of it as we work our way here through the next 48 hours. A lot of folks tired of the heat. Some areas of the West have had the hottest temperatures of the season over the last 7 days. But the pattern that's been responsible for this ridge of high pressure is going to break down significantly. As you can see, we still have the high pressure right on top of us right now, but see how it's getting squished? Getting squished by this cold front right here, and as this high pressure builds into the Gulf of Alaska, that causes the jet stream to dip, and things begin to change rather remarkably. We have K still coming up the Baja of California, so the stage is set for the weather pattern to really change to the big cool down now. The heat wave will get erased. The biggest impacts will be east of the divide. So if you live west of the Continental Divide, you're going to cool off too, but your chances of rain are much lower, and your cool down will not be as big. But this gets everybody. But east of the divide, upslope will develop. The front range of Montana, the front range of Wyoming, and the front range of Colorado will be socked in with low clouds, the coolest temperatures and the best chance of rain. West of the divide, it's a bit of a different story. There could be some really nice rain in northern and northeastern Wyoming, parts of western South Dakota, parts of Nebraska. I think there will be some rain along into the front range and eastern plains of Colorado as well. And we still see snow in the higher mountains. And again, it's the Bighorn Mountains of Wyoming that have the best chance of seeing some snow, but with the Wind Rivers, the Yellowstone Mountains, even maybe the southern mountains of the state will see a few flakes of snow out of this front. Now there will be like a rubber band, kind of a spring back in temperatures back up Sunday and Monday, but we're not going to go back to where we are now. In fact, it's a lot more of a moderate weather pattern next week. We could even the middle to the end of next week into next weekend have a little bit of shower activity around, and temperatures aren't going to be nearly as hot. So I think we'll be able to put this big heat wave to bed here over the next 24 hours. Satellite photo shows K up the Baja there of California and headed this way. It'll be weakening to a tropical storm, then a depression before coming up to near Southern California, then curving west to like this later on. Up north here, well, you can see some cloudiness associated with that front. This is an infrared shot overnight. And what I want to show you here, you don't see many clouds, do you? But you see the blue up here, these patches of blue? These are low stratus clouds forming along the colder air right here overnight. That front now is making its way further south and is pushing into those areas right there. And you can see that this frontal system by tomorrow is really going to have a big push south into the area. And the high pressure ridge, that big red area, is just all of a sudden gone. And as we go into that 24 to 48 hour period from tonight through Saturday night, that blue arrow just represents all the cold air that's going to get pushed into the region. As of 6 o'clock this morning, this is where basically the front was. And you can see the blue with the cooler temperatures heading our way. So if you're down here ahead of the front, you're going to have a warm to hot day. Hot, hazy, smoky again, but as the front makes its way south, you're going to be looking at the changes. Up in southern Saskatchewan this morning, you see those north winds and those rising barometers. Well, there's the front headed south, and temperatures don't look terribly cold here, do they? But 3 or 4 hours ago, they were in the 70s. So the cold front is marching south. By 6 o'clock tonight, the front should basically be through all of Montana, through the northern parts of Wyoming, and basically near the Lusk to Douglas, Riverton, Casper areas will be the extent of where the temperature change will be the most significant. This is by noon tomorrow. By noon tomorrow, the front is past Interstate 70 and pushing further south. You can see it now also. The colder air is spilling over the divide into southwestern Wyoming, back into Utah, while the western slope of Colorado kind of holds back the heat. Another hot day in California. But to the rescue is K, not only rescuing California with needed rain, but needed cooler conditions with the energy crunch they're going through right now. Now, this is noon Saturday. So noon Saturday, Look at all the green and the blue and the purple over the region. Temperatures from where they are now and have been 40 degrees to 50 degrees colder in some areas. These are the temperatures for noon Saturday. So this is what the temperature for noon Saturday looks like. These are not low temperatures. This is how much it's going to cool off across the region. And this is the precipitation forecast through Sunday evening. And you can see along and east of the divide is where the best precipitation is. That's where the upslope will be. That's where the best chance for rain will be. Not as much here in southwestern Wyoming or the Wasatch Front or northwest Colorado, as they're just going to be cut off from the moisture there. And then here's the remains of K heading up into Southern California. Confidence now is very high that this is going to happen. Las Vegas, a situation. Western areas of Arizona, a situation to watch out for. And to focus in a little bit more closely into the region, you can see the northeast counties of Wyoming going to do really well in terms of picking up just a nice, steady rain. Not as much, unfortunately, here in parts of the Bighorn Basin, and wish we'd get some moisture back here. Although next week, I do see this area getting wet. Northwest Colorado and the Wasatch of Utah as well. Snowfall, yep, anywhere you see gray, there could be some flakes of snow. As you get into the purple and the blues is where the accumulations of snow will be possible. Look at this, Laramie Peak. Laramie Peak could have a little white on it by Saturday morning. So quite a change. Here is the focused in area into the California area, Las Vegas into western Arizona there. And these areas right here is where the greatest risk for flash flooding is going to be here over the next 72 hours. This really starts to move into California sometime during the day tomorrow. And then as we work our way into tomorrow night, and Saturday, it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. I would not be surprised if this red area gets pushed further north like this, as well as the trying to track the remains of hurricanes. The modeling really doesn't do terribly great sometimes, so there could be a few surprises thrown into the mix. We might even see rain get further north into the Sierra Nevadas, California as well. Now, this is for Sunday into Monday. Here's the low right here, part of the front that's coming in right now. You see this high pressure ridge? This is the snapback. So Sunday and Monday, temperatures will bounce back up again. But this area of low pressure right here is going to continue to move east. So what will happen is, towards the middle of next week, it heads east, bringing cooler air in, and look at the rain chances. The western United States has got rain chances coming on in next week, mid to late next week, starting as early as Tuesday. So this is a departure from where we certainly have been over the last week or so. Stay tuned. We'll have more for you tomorrow. Get ready for the change in the weather. I think everybody's ready.